statement. I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation. Mr. President, we would like to begin by thanking USG Jean-Pierre Lacroix for his briefing on progress in reforming UN peacekeeping operations and the problems that have arisen in connection with the coronavirus epidemic. We see peacekeeping operations as a key instrument in the UN's arsenal in maintaining international peace and security. UN peacekeeping missions take place under dangerous conditions that are exacerbated by difficult humanitarian and socioeconomic conditions. Sometimes there are also asymmetric threats. These are the realities that also come together with the changing character and dynamic of conflict that require a corresponding fine-tuning of peacekeeping operations. Unfortunately, I will not be able to continue interpretation because the sound quality is very poor. I do apologize.
Секретариата ООН по обеспечению безопасности миротворцев, а также смягчению последствий пандемии в миссиях, в том числе за счет укрепления их потенциала по борьбе с эпидемией, совершенствования системы медицинского обслуживания, а также принятия мер по снижению риска распространения вируса среди персонала и при взаимодействии с гражданским населением. Помощь принимающим государствам в их усилиях по противодействию коронавирусу может оказываться по просьбе национальных властей в рамках соответствующих мандатов миссий. В качестве положительных примеров отмечаем операции в Центральноафриканской Республике и в Демократической Республике Конго, которые помогли странам пребывания в разработке планов по реагированию на пандемию. Любые изменения, связанные с ротацией контингентов, необходимо осуществлять в тесном сотрудничестве со странами-поставщиками контингентов. Господин председатель, несмотря на текущие беспрецедентные обстоятельства, важно, чтобы дальнейшая эволюция миротворческих операций ООН осуществлялась в правильном направлении. При этом императивом должно оставаться уважение суверенитета принимающих государств, соблюдение целей и принципов Устава ООН, а также базовых принципов миротворчества. Убеждены, что голубые каски должны сохранять свой беспристрастный статус при любых обстоятельствах. Силовые или наступательные мандаты могут предоставляться Советом Безопасности.
Mandates can be provided by the Security Council in each specific case depending on the situation on the ground. The aim of peacekeeping is the peaceful settlement of conflict through political means. Therefore, we support the Secretary-General's call for a global ceasefire, which would guarantee the conditions that we need, continue mediation efforts to encourage parties to a conflict to engage in a process of national reconciliation. There are temporary difficulties caused by the pandemic, but it's important to maintain those successes that have already been achieved in achieving peacekeeping or peace agreements. An important precondition for the effectiveness of a peacekeeping operation is constructive cooperation with the host country. Under a pandemic, it's particularly important that we strengthen trust and exchange information. Dialogue is particularly important to guarantee timely access to important goods, to medical equipment and to medicines for UN peacekeeping mission personnel, and also to resolve other pressing issues, including those connected with limitations that have been introduced as necessary to fight the spread of coronavirus. We also think it's very important to take into account the opinions of host countries and also troop contributing countries when considering issues around extending mandates, and also consultation with them when preparing recommendations for the evaluation reports on the effectiveness of peacekeeping missions. In particular, in the UNIFIL mandate, recently substantive additions were made connected with the very sensitive issues of the use of modern technologies, including unmanned aerial vehicles and observation measures, which might touch on the sovereignty of the host country. Similar activities also burden the UN budget yet further, there's a contradiction here between the positions of some countries which, on the one hand, are adding to mandates, but on the other are calling for the reduction of financing and also for the number of peacekeepers. The solution, the slogan rather, do more with less, can be applied in economic theory, but it's hardly going to be useful in improving the effectiveness of peacekeeping operations. Optimizing peacekeeping mandates to make them more effective should be accompanied by cuts in secondary and non-core activities for peacekeepers, in particular those connected with human rights or with social or gender issues. Mandates should not be populist, but rather clear and realistic. President, we think it is necessary that we continue to improve trilateral cooperation between the Security Council, troop contributing countries and the Secretariat to improve the spirit of partnership, cooperation and mutual trust. This approach is at the heart of the Secretary-General's Action for Peacekeeping initiative, which includes a call for close cooperation between all participants in peacekeeping, with the aim of improving the effectiveness of peacekeeping operations. During the most recent substantive session of the Special Committee on Peacekeeping Operations, the C34, this year, it was agreed that the further promotion of the A4P could be carried out in line with the opinions and recommendations of member states, including those that were put forward at the high-level event in September 2018. To this end, the structure of the C34 report was brought in line with the main thematic elements of the A4P. We think that the recommendations and decisions contained in the Special Committee's report will serve as a foundation for the Secretariat in its further peacekeeping activities. In conclusion, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the peacekeeping operations and also those providing personnel and troop contributing countries for their unswerving commitment to fulfilling their obligations in the current conditions. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for that statement.